Hey guys, and welcome to today's tutorial on another one of my favorite page styles. Okay, so let's just start with the tutorial for today. And the first step we always need to do for any of those page styles is to cut and score our cardstock as well as our pattern papers. And for the measurements, you can refer to the cutting guides and templates which are available in my Etsy store for different album sizes. And when I cut my cardstock and pattern paper, I always like to label all the elements I have cut. So this is just an example on how to use your cutting guides for cutting and scoring your cardstock and pattern papers. And then after scoring, you can go ahead and do the next step. And then for the next step, we can just go ahead and turn around our cardstock elements A and just fold them on the scoring lines and burnish them down with a bone folder. And now we can attach our pattern paper for the basic page onto our basic page. And when I attach my pattern paper onto my cardstock elements, I always prefer to use wet glue instead of tape, because by using wet glue, you are still able to move around your pattern paper until you find the right position and have an even border of cardstock around it. And then before I actually attach those cardstock elements A onto the basic page, I just get a pencil and I still just eyeball it. I don't use a ruler here, but I just lay those cardstock elements A in the correct position, and then I use the pencil to actually mark the position before attaching it by using some glue. So after marking those corners of cardstock elements A for the correct position, I then get my wet glue to attach those cardstock elements A onto the basic page. And I like using wet glue here because then I'm still able to move around those cardstock elements. And also I think those are not very heavy like cardstock constructions, so I think for this page style it's fine to attach the cardstock elements A by using some wet glue. So now I want those cardstock elements A to look like tags, and for this I just get my Tim Holtz ruler and then I find the middle of each cardstock element A and I just mark it down. So I want this to be very close to the edge, so to the open sides of cardstock elements A, but yeah. So I actually just eyeball it. You could also use the template which comes with the cutting guides. This would be much easier because I already did the work for you so that those holes will be punched in the correct position. But I didn't do this for this video clip, so you see me just using the ruler. So then after marking, you can go ahead and use your hole puncher. So I use my crocodile here to punch those little holes. Now what I always like to do when making tags is I like to get a piece of like pattern paper, so a scrap piece, and then I get some of my wider tape and I just place it on the back side of the pattern papers, and then you can turn it around and use your hole punching tool. So I use my crocodile tool again, and you punch holes just along the side where you placed your tape on the back. And then I get another like circle punch tool, and this is a circle in 1/2 inch, and I just use it to punch out those circles around the holes. So you would actually need 8 or 4 of those circles, depends on if you want to also add them on the inside. And then because of the tape on the back side, they are already self-adhesive, so you can just go ahead and remove the tape backing and then just place them around the holes punched onto cardstock elements A. Now for the corners of those tags, you could of course also use the template again, which comes with the cutting guides, but I also had this like tag punching tool, so I just used this to punch off the corners at an angle. And then we can cover our cardstock elements with the coordinating pattern papers. So again, I just use my wet glue and then I attach those pattern papers A onto all those cardstock elements A. And then to close up this page style, we would need some ribbon. So I just got my ribbon here and then I pull it through from the outside of one of those tags through the hole, and then through the hole again from the inside on the tag which is on the opposite side. And then you can just tie a bow and leave it as it is. So I was actually thinking to have it stick to one of those tags from the inside, and this of course would be an option, but then I decided this to be just a loose ribbon which you would have to pull through again or pull out when you want to open or close it. But what I also like to do when I use ribbon in my page styles, I always want to make sure that they don't rip apart so easily. So I actually get a lighter and then I just burn the ends of the ribbon, and this actually prevents them from ripping apart. Now that's it for today's tutorial. So I have to say I really love this page style. I think it's such a great page style to include smaller photos. You can actually include 8 different small sized photos on this page style. So yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed today's tutorial. And if you did so, I would love to get your feedback in the comment box down below. And of course, it would also mean a lot to me if you could give this video a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. So I hope that you are having a great day, and I would love to see you in my next video.